So you've thought about moving to Mexico, now you're thinking about border traffic when trying to get to the US. Well, in this video, I shall be talking about if you should get a Sentry card or if you should get a global entry card. Hey guys, it's your boy Yinks, your travel guide currently based in Mexico. So without further ado, let's get started. The first thing is, what is Sentry card? So some of you might be watching this video thinking, what is the difference between Sentry card, global entry? What are these cards? What is it? The Sentry card, let me try to get this on, which is the Secure Electronic Network for Travelers Rapid Inspection, is a CBP program that allows expedited clearance for pre-approved low-risk travelers upon arrival in the United States. And the global entry card is the same thing, except now this is more for people who fly, but it's also usable on land borders. All this is to say is that if you have this card, you're able to be in a special lane or a special approved section that you could, fast forward through people without having to go through extra screening or security measures. Now, that does not mean that you might not be pulled over for the occasional secondary inspection or different things. That because you have a card does not mean that you will still get pulled over. I get pulled over at least about maybe once or twice a month.
I've been in the traffic for an hour and then I get to go secondary inspection. And guess what? I get to go to secondary inspection today. My lucky day, huh? Not really. I'm so pissed, guys.
There was definitely a week where I got pulled over like at least 3 or 4 times throughout the week. So it doesn't exempt you from getting pulled over. So here in Tijuana, there's Sentry lanes in every single land border between Mexico and the US. They are designed Sentry lanes. It could be 1 lane, it could be 2 lanes, it could be as many lanes as possible. San Isidro, of course, has the most amount of Sentry lanes on any of the land borders that we have between Mexico and the United States. So if you're truly thinking about coming to Mexico, I advise you to make sure that you get your card ASAP because the process is quite long. Yes, it takes a long time, and now with COVID, it could take anywhere up to a year. You just never know. So if you're thinking about Mexico and you're like, I'm gonna make this move and I'm gonna commute back and forth, you better get your butt getting one of the cards, Sentry or global entry. Now let's get to nitty-gritty. This video, I'm gonna skip a lot of things because I really want to address more of the land border stuff. And you know what? If you're an American citizen, just save yourself the hassle and go apply for the global entry because you would have way more benefits applying or getting the global entry than getting just Sentry. But for people of different nationalities, please make sure you keep watching to see which would probably be best for you. With the Sentry card, the benefits are this, that you have your designated driving lanes, which of course, like I said before, it's very, very nice because typically, let's say here in Tijuana, the lines could take anywhere from 5 to 6 hours, depending on the day, the time. But then if you're in a Sentry lane, it might take you maybe at max 2 hours. So right there, already saving 3 hours of wait time. So it makes sense to definitely get the card. As well, let's say you're crossing the border between Canada and the United States, you as well could go in the NEXUS lane, which NEXUS is similar to Sentry, but for Canadians. And last, if you're a legal alien or you're an American citizen, you have Sentry, you could use that for global entry as well. Now, with global entry, the thing there is, this is very, very useful for when you're flying, right? You see when you go through security and there's a long wait line, none of us always like doing that. You have to take out your laptops, your shoes, your belts. With the global entry card, you don't have to do that because you typically would have TSA pre-check, and that means you could just get to walk, drop your bag, walk through the security thing, voila, you're done. You saved yourself hours and not miss flights like me, that I miss flights because I'm trying to go through security, I'm late, blah, blah. That is absolutely the best. Some of the benefits that you get from that. Of course, as well, you don't have to do paperwork. So I don't think anyone always wants to write paperwork, this and that. At the airports, there's always tons of paperwork. With the global entry card, you have a lot of your information. It's updated. You've been screened. Different things have gone through, so you don't have to do all that stuff. If you're gaining value from this video, don't forget to smash that like button. Let's get back to the video. Now, it's important to say that with the global entry card, there might be some times where you might not be eligible for TSA pre-check. How they determine that, I do not know. That's not up to me. But but it does happen where you might like not be able to get TSA pre-check. But typically, 9 times out of 10, if I'm not mistaken, you are TSA pre-check approved. How do you apply? Easy. To apply, you have to do everything online. So you have to make sure you go to the Trusted Travelers Program website. I will drop the link below in the description. It's the Trusted Travelers Program website. Just type that in Google or click on the link below and you'll be able to get there. You just look for the program you're looking for, if it's going to be if it's going to be Global Entry or if it's going to be Sentri. So after seeing all of this, how much does it cost? Well, for Global Entry, it costs $100 and I believe it will last you for 5 years. For Sentri, it costs $122.50. Yes, very specific. I don't know why 50 cents, but that's what it is. And as well, I believe it lasts you for 5 years. So when you think about it, you're getting the same benefits from a Global Entry card that you'd be getting on a Sentri, plus a little bit more. Why wouldn't you not just go for a Global Entry card? Again, that goes back to what requirements you meet. So if you're eligible to apply for a Global Entry card, I absolutely encourage you to apply for a Global Entry card. The process is pretty similar. So what you pretty much have to do is you apply online. After you apply, you get pre-approved. Make sure also remember that when you pay whatever fees it is, they're non-refundable. So if you decide you don't want to do anything again, that's it. You lose your money. But of course, make sure you do that. So you get pre-approved. After pre-approval, you get called in for you set up an interview. So there are different interview locations in the nation. So for Sentri, for instance, there's one in Otay Mesa. There was one at San Isidro at the east, so at West Ped. But I don't know if it's still there. That was where I did my interview in San Isidro. But it would be way easier for most people that are, let's say, in San Diego area to go to Otay Mesa because they have an actual office and you could just go in for your interview. It shouldn't take you that long. They ask questions, do you have a car? What kind of car do you have? Okay, what car are you putting on the thing? Also, make sure when you're filling out your application, if you're going to have multiple cars, do it right then and then. Put the right information in the computer right then, because every time you change a car or every time you change anything about your car or you want to change an information on your car, it's a rigorous process. And so you have to make sure that you do the right thing at the right time. So make sure you try and put the most accurate information one time for all, so you don't have to go back to dealing with stuff. Life happens, I understand, accidents, new cars, whatever, that's different. You just have to go through the process, and it might take a little bit while, especially right now that COVID happened. Things have been pushed back. I applied for my NEXUS and it took my parents a few weeks to get their NEXUS pre-approval. For me, it took me at least almost 8 months to a year. So my parents are in Canada, so I'm sure that's why they got theirs within a few weeks. But yeah, but COVID as well elongated it. COVID as well pushed back the process. So who's eligible to get these cards? Well, the requirements are here on the screen. So you have to be, of course, 18 years or older. If you're not 18 years or older, you have to have a legal parent or guardian. Make sure that they're applying for you. If you've had some previous convictions or you have some previous criminal offenses, you might not be eligible for the program. And it sucks because you do have to pay a fee to actually see if you'd be eligible. So that's why you have to get pre-approved initially. So there is money that you might might have to go to waste if you violated anything that might be on your record. If someone in your household has a criminal record, you actually might be in jeopardy because of them if you live in the same household. So simple things like that could affect you getting pre-approved. Now, if you get pre-approved, it does not mean that you do automatically get the cards. Because after you get pre-approved, you do have to go for an interview, like I said before. And so that interview process is going to determine if you do get the card in the long run. They'll just ask you the basic questions. They just want to know that you're real. They want to make sure that your information is correct. And they just because at this point, they want to make sure that you are, a trusted traveler. So it's a process. They go through your background, your history, a lot of stuff. That's why it takes forever for them to be able to get you pre-approved. Hopefully this video helped you out a lot to determine if you should get a Global Entry card or a Sentri card. Again, if you're American, automatically just go get Global Entry because that could also help you with air travel. If you're not American, then of course your options are limited. Global entry, they still have some eligibility requirements, so check, maybe you might qualify based on the different requirements that they have. And that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, any comments, drop them down below. Hit that like button. Keep HBOing, which means help a brother out. H factor. I'm joking, but make sure you guys help a brother out, by subscribing, by sharing these videos to your friends who are thinking about moving to Mexico and coming into the States, because sharing is caring. Don't forget that you can make a difference in this world. Be a light. Till next time, guys. Peace out.